Speedway. That's great to be. We're good, Tony? Oh, great. Welcome back. You should play Welcome Back, and we can't really play anything.
We really cannot play that.
But welcome back.
Yes, John Connor.
From Terminator.
Yes.
So Steve's always thinking with me. So yeah, it's great to be back in the studio. You know, I had to use Waze to get here.
You have Waze, we know that.
I have lots. You know, I don't like Waze, and I had to use my Waze. And it said, make a left, make a right. And then I popped here and I said, look at this. It's fantastic. It's wonderful to be back. Great to see you, Tone.
You too, pal.
Can you see him?
Now, you might wonder why I'm wearing these glasses.
LASIK?
No, thank you for noticing. I did not get LASIK. But what I'm wearing these because I'm getting ready for a race that's coming up November 9th. I am doing a half marathon. Location to be TBD'd, to be determined. No, I actually know what the location is. Now, this is really, it's a half marathon, but the way they're doing it is a little odd. Oh, my God. Oh, I got scared. So they're doing, I have to do 3 miles and then 10 miles. It's not a continuous, they're breaking it up like that, and I'll tell you.
So you do 3 miles.
And then 10 miles.
And what happens after 3 miles?
You go line up for the 10-miler. Because some people could just do 10 and just do 3.
Right.
Or you could do both, but you have to, it's very confusing.
So you actually get a break, actually.
Very little, because the 3 starts at 7 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
And the 10 starts at 8 a.m. So if you run 3 miles in, 10 minutes, a half hour, 40 minutes, maybe you get 10 minutes in between. But that's not good.
No.
Once you're rolling, you don't want to cool down.
Mm-hmm.
It's like if, you were pitching or something and you pitched a couple of innings and they said, you know what, take 20 minutes off. Or like a rain delay. That's why they never bring guys back after a certain, because you cool down. You don't want to cool down. You should know that.
I don't.
You don't want to cool down when you're rolling.
No, baby.
Like if this, we're you know what I'm saying?
No.
You hear me. So what I thought I would do is I got my sneakers that I'm going to use for the race. I was going to open them up and unveil them. Do one of those Amazon open box things they do all the time on TikTok.
Or, YouTube.
You've seen those, right? Those unveilings?
Yes. What was the unboxing of? What kind of?
Well, I got a pair of sneakers. Let's see what we got. I want to see if I'll look the part. I always like to look the part.
Under Armour.
Yeah, I'm going with Under Armour for this race.
Why are you going with Under Armour now?
I have worn a pair before, and I really like them.
Okay.
I usually do New Balance, but I'm going with Under Armour.
Very good.
And here we go. Let's see. You ready?
Yeah.
Drum roll? Nothing? Mama Luca. It's the way I used to open up Kip's. Oh! Beautiful. What do you think?
Very, very stylish.
Sporting the interlocking
UA
Under Armour.
UA?
The interlocking UA.
Look at that. That is a handsome shoe.
It feels light. Very light.
Lightness on it?
Sure.
Oh.
Feels like very light and airy.
Still smells nice and new.
Right out of the box.
Yes.
I like when you smell my sneaker. And you see what it says there? Deluxe foam is inside.
Deluxe foam.
Deluxe foam. Not that cheap crap at Michael's.
This
is deluxe foam.
This isn't the shoes from the bin from old recycled tires.
This is made straight from the poor little kids in Bangladesh. They just finished this. Just came off the line.
Kathy Lee Gifford.
What is that? What's Kathy Lee?
Steve doesn't know that story.
I don't know that.
Oh, that was years ago.
So
there was a scandal.
Kathy Lee had a line of clothes at Walmart.
Oh boy.
Were they children's clothes, Tony? I think they might have been children's clothes.
I don't remember.
But anyway, and she's always was very, pontifical and very, highfalutin, and she always, kind of thought highly of herself. Then some people investigated and shot her down because they said that those clothes at Walmart were being made by children in some poor third world nation or whatever.
Like Westbury?
Yeah.
I was going to say something
So-
other town, but I chose that very carefully as it was coming out of my mouth.
Yes.
I tried to stay middle of the road
So
because,
she,
Westbury's a safe town, I guess. depending where you are.
what
most
is
days.
safe right
That
now.
is true. There's nothing safe.
So then she ended up going on to the TV show with Regis, and started just crying and apologizing, and she
She didn't. Yeah.
she swears she didn't know anything about it. And, all she knew was she was making a lot of money, right? So
Well, that's why you don't want to know where the money's coming in. You just want, and
Well-
that's when is that when she switched to Carnival Cruise Line and started singing?
no, she had been doing that before. So I mean, you would think she was selling herself all over the place.
Now, what did Dandy Don think about that?
Dandy Don.
Or who was she married to?
Frank Gifford,
Oh.
Steve. You didn't know.
Well, one of the Giants. what did LT think about that?
Dandy.
Wasn't she messing around with Lawrence Taylor for a while?
Dandy Don Meredith. She got divorced.
Something like that. I never watched. I don't watch stories really
Now
close. I
that-
just get it from a peripheral.
Now that's a porn movie right there.
Kathy Lee and LT. I love it. Yeah, boy. So, speaking of controversial topics, I thought we'd get right into it. What do you think about this guy?
I think he is so well dressed. Look at that.
I'm
Look at
not
him.
guilty.
Look at him. Look at him. And he even when he says he's not
He's got
guilty,
the thumbs up, too.
so
He's okay.
He's smooth. He's like,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm telling you, he was just so
He's all right. What's wrong?
well.
Look at him. He's no problem.
My dad keeps a look. Wait, let me see what he's wearing today. And like he would be wearing the clothes he wears are just like incredible.
It's fantastic. I like this.
I know.
guy.
If you ever see the clip from the Today Show when it was Al Roker's 70th birthday, you got to see what Mayor Adams was wearing for that. I mean, it was like over the top.
So what did he do? What's going on here? I don't follow anything. I
He
just
took some
get the headlines.
He took some bribes, possibly.
Big deal.
From countries like
Name-
Turkey, Israel, and a few others here and there. I think there were 2 or 3 others.
Big deal. Who hasn't? I'm on both of those countries' payrolls. I do online training with them. So, all right, so that's good. But more importantly, I'm dividing the show into segments. This is world and politics. So
I never thought you were gonna get.
Yeah, I thought I'd get a little serious. So here, I'm very excited. Sri Lanka swears in their new president. This is very exciting. You see this?
It's in Newsday. Yes, I see it now because it's in Newsday.
Of course, Sri Lanka. So let's see. President Amura Kumura Dasayenka addresses...
That means no worries, by the way.
Right, it does. It's like a Hakuna Matata. So apparently the Sri Lanka president, but he won in a landslide. He killed the opposition.
I believe it.
The opposition is not in Sri Lanka right now. It's somewhere in a Sri Lankan prison. Getting the old Sri Lanka.
Is that the big story, though?
That's pretty big.
No.
What do you think about that? Look at the guys behind him.
Handsome gentleman.
Would you go to Sri Lanka? Where is Sri Lanka?
Somewhere between Bermuda and the end of the world. No.
Okay. I was waiting for that. I thought you were
figured
going to
that.
come with something better, but that's okay.
I'm sorry.
I set you up, but you didn't spike it, Goose.
I tried.
Come on, Goose.
I tried.
Oh, and here's some news. Second death in the Delhi meat scandal. I like to follow this story. It seems that the listeria is still rearing its ugly head into our flavorful meat.
Now, you were a fan of Boar's Head. Back
I'm
in
a
the
huge.
day.
I'm a huge fan. I'm a
Weren't you-
sponsor.
If there was anything,
I actually played on their softball team, the Long Island Boar's Heads. It was a Sunday league. We used to toss around the old
Boar's Head.
Boar's Head meat. We had the Boar's Head on the insignia. I'll never wear that uniform again.
I suppose not.
So it says here, Boar's Head recalled, around 7 million pounds of its ready-to-eat meat, which again was a movie I did in the late 70s. Under the
Stevie
name
Wong.
Stevie Wang.
Oh,
I went under my Panamasian name, my Sri Lankan name, Stevie Wang.
Oh,
Stevie Wangster.
yeah.
And this is their ready-to-eat meat and poultry products nationwide due to a listeria outbreak. They have recalled it.
Is that what she said?
They recalled the meat.
They also closed down the plant in Virginia permanently.
That's it?
Yes, they closed it down permanently. A lot of
So
people.
where are people going to go to get liverwurst?
They'll just get it from someplace else, I guess.
Black market liverwurst?
Dietz and Watson.
Oh, you like Dietz and Watson?
No, not particularly. I really don't have a lot of cold cuts, especially right now. You know, Steve.
You're in great mode. I have to say this before we go forward. Steve is locked in. He has been, look at him, svelte. He looks, he's really doing a wonderful job.
I'm trying.
Have you been you're hitting the gym too, right?
Hitting the gym.
Fantastic. You're doing, this is the most consistent and the best I've seen you in years.
It's been a while.
You're
right.
committed. What spurred you on? What was the change? What did it for you finally?
I just wasn't feeling my best. I just didn't. I put on my shirt and I felt fat and chubby, and I didn't like the way I looked. I didn't like the way I felt. Didn't feel good about myself.
You know, as a trainer, and no, I'm being serious. As a trainer, you right away think I'm. As a trainer, I always say, they always, you know, how they would always tell us to, this is like one of those Oprah shows.
I feel like I'm in the office,
right,
having a conversation here with the trainer, telling me.
And this is interesting because you know how all the sales guys, and they would tell you to push people to get those sales, right, for clients.
Right.
But you, just what you said, you can't. Somebody has to get there themselves.
Right.
You can't push somebody. You can push them to get the deal.
Right.
But the actual motivation to go and do these things, which you're doing, has to be some moment that is personal.
Mm-hmm.
And it can't be fancy talk in an office or some persuasion. Can't be Tony Roberts or Robbins, whatever his name is, or that guy on the 700 Club. I love that guy. He's got great teeth. Did you ever watch that guy? He's got Sunday mornings. Joel Osteen.
That's at the 700 Club, but it's close.
I was in the ball. Joel Osteen, and he makes a wonderful vacuum cleaner, by the way. But I digress because I think that you're doing. I just want to say you're doing a fabulous job.
I'm trying.
You are.
I've been doing pretty well with my diet until yesterday. It was my mom's birthday, so we went out.
Happy birthday!
We had Italian food
from
El Gusto.
That sounds Spanish.
No, El Gusto de Vito. I forgot the name of it. It's in Seaford, though.
Speaking of Italian, you heard that John Gotti's grandson was just picked up.
I believe I did. I believe he came through my store.
John Gotti's grandson?
Yep.
He was. This is in my true crime segment, but I'll segue into it because you mentioned Italian. And they say that it skips a gene, but no, they've been rolling right down the, because so he's the son of Victoria, John's daughter,
right?
Whatever, which was all the way back. The ancestry goes all the way back to the Teflon Don.
Yes.
So yeah, he was doing some scam he had going on. He was absconding with some funds that he yielded for the pandemic relief.
Oh.
And he used it for personal ill-gotten gains. Ill-gotten gains.
Ill-gotten gains, that's right.
Pirate booty, if you will.
Okay.
He didn't use it. What he did was he took that money, $1 million.
Right.
And he used it for, what did he use it for? Cryptocurrency. He thought that would be a good investment.
Isn't it?
I don't know. I don't even know what that is. I'm not sure what it is. I still don't know what it is. But I'm not doing it. Hey, the circus is coming to town. Did you see this, Steve?
No.
Right across from your coffee shop. What do you mean, no? This is in Hicksville on Broadway.
I did not see that there.
Look at this. Read this. The circus is coming to town. What? Tell us what, when, where, who?
First thing, this picture is not in Hicksville.
Well, no, because it's not. It's coming to Hicksville.
It's coming to Hicksville, so I haven't even seen this.
What
yet.
date is? Does it say a date there?
Friday. This Friday.
This Friday?
Yes.
So they must be setting up or close to. Is it where? Is it like
in the parking?
In the parking lot?
Yeah,
You think?
Yeah. Yes.
Will that be right where you are?
Yeah, not too far.
Like the Broadway.
I'll probably could walk. Yeah,
Yeah?
it'll be in. Yeah, it should be there.
Now, if they asked you, would you jump over there and maybe jump on a trapeze or something? You'd be a good clown. What do you think about that?
There's only one clown.
Tears of a clown.
Funny man, Stevie K.
Tears of a clown.
Steve VK.
Stevie K. So did you like the circus as a child?
I guess so. My first trip to Madison Square Garden was at the circus.
Your first trip to MSG was at
Yes.
the circus. Tony, were you a circus guy?
No.
Nice. You sure?
What do you have photos?
I don't know, Tony. You seem like you'd be a circus guy. I mean, when we're talking about Hee Haw Willie,
Yeah.
you'd fit right in. So I thought they banned circus, or they just banned it for animals.
No, they build animal acts are
out.
out.
No, so there won't be any animals at this circus.
No.
Just the Long Islanders who attend. They'll be the only animals.
be
who
on-
attend.
animals.
That's the only animals that'll be there. Will be
Grazing on their popcorn.
under the
you know,
big
like,
top.
and-
Wow, look at Steve. I never thought I'd get to the day that you'd be slamming people for eating popcorn.
well, no.
I love
you're
it.
Right, I love popcorn. Oh, I went to the movies this weekend. Oh. I didn't eat a single thing.
Wow. Do you have an applause on there?
No,
Yeah, absolutely.
Wait, do you know how rough that is?
I
The
do.
smell of popcorn. I need popcorn at the
I
movies.
know you do.
It is a must.
Did you hear Chris Christopherson passed away?
know,
Was
yeah.
that just recent?
Yeah, just yesterday. He's been sick for a while with different things. He had dementia from Lyme disease, and they thought he had Alzheimer's, and then it found out that it wasn't, or they thought it was depression. So he's taking antidepressants and like Alzheimer's medicine, and they realized no, it wasn't that. You were on a shoot in Vermont, and you got Lyme disease in
Wow.
Vermont. So they got him off the drugs, and he was all right.
Now, it's funny because I was thinking of this. Now, he's not per se a country singer, but I'm trying to arrange a playlist for my run. Mm-hmm. And I have a lot of Green Day, Linkin Park, and
sure.
harder stuff.
Yes.
And I found that I'm getting in a good headspace when I'm running. It's so hard. The music is hard and it's, grungy. I said,
Anger.
right. And I said, you know what? That's not good for running. That's good for working out, but not for running. You
What-
need something, some kind of, real something melodic. Something very, almost like a Paula and Carol from the Magic Garden. Something like that.
There are no locks on the story box.
There are no.
There are no locks in the story box.
The story box. There's only locks. You know where there's only locks? On a bagel. You want me to, when can I come on? When can I be on the Giggle Room?
Yeah.
When am I booking me, Tony? Tony, book me. Book me! So, country music, I find, is where and that's where my roots are, after all. I mean, I know Hello, Wall. Hello,
So
Wall.
what country music?
Now, I'm glad you asked, because it's not going to be today's Jason Aldean,
Right.
Kenny, you know me. It's
Right.
not this newfound. It's the 70s, the 80s.
Hal Wallace. Hello, Walls.
A little Charlie Pride, Charlie Rich,
Charlie.
maybe a
Silver
little
Fox.
Dolly, the Silver Fox, Willie Nelson.
And we got Behind Closed Doors. That's a.
Well, that's a little seedy to run to, but yeah, something along those lines. But yes, those kind of, Rhinestone Cowboy, Delta Dawn,
How about a little John Denver? Perhaps?
John Denver, sure. You filled up my my
Senses.
So,
You
but
fill out my senses.
you fill out my senses.
That's what you do every
You-
decade.
You fill it out, right?
You fill out
my senses.
Weird Al. We should give that
That's
to
what
him.
Weird Al
He'll take that.
He's going to be on MSG. He's on the tour right
I
now.
see that.
Yes,
I know.
great segue, Steve. We'll give that to him. We'll let him have it.
Yeah. Sure.
Do you know what number one hit? We are going to do a music trivia thing, but we'll try one now. What number one hit, his only number one hit that he wrote, Chris Christopherson. He did write a number one hit song, and it wasn't really country. Or that stuff. I shouldn't say country, but it wasn't. It was a little more rock.
I got
guess.
a couple.
You'll probably get it.
I'm
gonna get it.
gonna say
I know you're pretending to think, but you're going to get it.
no. I'm gonna say is it me and Bobby McGee?
You are correct, sir.
Okay. I was thinking of great country song that he wrote. Help me make it through the night.
Oh, help
Take
me make
those ribbons from my hair. Oh, yeah, I knew you'd
That's
like
a
that.
seedy song. I love that song. Yeah, all right, Chris. That's a good song. That should have been number one. Well, that wasn't a note. That was a big song.
That was a huge country song.
Yeah, it says his only number one hit.
I'm sure that in those days it probably made it in the pop chart too. That was a big song.
Yeah. And it says here, me and Bobby McGee named after a female secretary. It's always the female secretary.
Always the secretary.
In his
you know
building.
that.
Christopherson said in an interview in the magazine that he was inspired to write the lyrics about a man and a woman on the road together after watching the Federico Fellini film La Strada.
La Strada.
Uh,
La Strada.
La Strada. Hey, you're going to see this movie. You're going to see it with me.
What's that? What movie is that?
The Saturday Night Live movie,
Yeah,
October 11th.
something like that.
Book
yeah.
it. No, that's what. Yeah, it says October
Book 'em
11th.
down.
What do you think? Can you expound on it? Do you know anything about this? What is this about?
It is about the first episode of Saturday Night Live and how it came to be, and they talk about many of the things that almost didn't happen, and actually how hard it was to get it on the air and whatever. It was live television, and you had to deal with executives. You had to deal with stage crew that was from another generation.
So where is it? It says here, yeah. It says look a peak scene at the first episode of Saturday Night Live. So it's the 90 minutes leading up. So they're in like
So
the
it's going
dressing
through.
room.
It goes through the whole
Lead up
the
to the
whole
first
lead
thing.
up. I did. Yeah.
The Times. It's been at the Hamptons Film Festival.
Yes, it's
and
gotten a lot of good reviews from all the film festivals.
Has it? Yes.
Yes.
All right. So that I would be interested to see that.
Yes.
That's going to be coming out. Yeah. Here's Yankovic bringing his tour. Yankovic. What did I say? Yankovic.
Yankovic.
He actually pitched for the Brewers back in the 80s. He was part of the Brew Crew, Yankovic. Great right-hander, had a nasty splitter. Fantastic.
Maybe he met Fidrich on the Detroit
Rock City?
Tigers.
Rock City.
Mark Fidrich.
I remember the Bird.
The bird, right?
The Bird,
Big
of course.
Bird.
Big Bird. Now, I want to tell you something because you'll like this. Last weekend, I went to see Sebastian Maniscalco at the Garden.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I went to see Sebastian Maniscalco.
How was that?
My sister got tickets for my birthday back in March. Got it for my brother.
Nice.
And it was interesting because, and you'll definitely appreciate this. It's interesting to see a comic in an arena like that, as opposed to say Governors, where it's a more intimate setting.
Sure.
What do you think about that? Do you think, not as him, because obviously he's making cash, but as someone watching it, do you think? I mean, would you enjoy seeing it in a 400 section of Madison Square Garden? So really, you're watching it on the Jumbotron where you would watch it on a YouTube video.
Well, I'll tell you, no matter who it is, it's got to be energetic, because in a place like that, you need that energy. Otherwise, it's going to just...
Right, and that's what he's very funny. Obviously,
Yeah,
I
sure.
love Sebastian Maniscalco. He's very funny, but I think it's hard. It's not a sporting event.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Where, let's say you go to a concert or a sporting event, and even if the players are small or the band is small, there's still the sound and the energy
Right.
of watching it that's you're not going to pick up at home. There's nothing you're not going to pick up at home there. It's not like you're getting more laughter
Right.
from the other people. You know what I mean? There's chuckles and then it dies down. Then there's chuckles. So I'm amazed that they get 20,000 people,
Well,
that they fill the garden.
It's a different thing, I think. It's a different thing.
I'm
if
just
you're
blown
playing,
away.
it doesn't matter what you are, a singer, comedian, whatever. If you're playing at Madison Square Garden, you're something bigger than just what you are. Your Barbra Streisand is bigger than just a singer.
Right.
Maniscalco at this point, Seinfeld, he's done the Garden.
Yes.
He's a lot more than just a comedian.
Right.
He has transcended that. He is a superstar.
Sure. They're going to book
So
out.
of course, there's going to be a
absolutely.
lot of energy in the Garden. People,
Yeah,
who are
no,
big, you get a big following.
He had 3 nights they had to add to.
Right.
He sold 5 straight, and he's
Yep.
coming
Yep.
back to UBS in March.
Yep.
And he sells that anywhere. But
Did you find that the energy wasn't what you hoped?
No,
or-
I didn't even have any expectations because I had never seen a comic in that setting. So it was cool. I enjoyed it, and I like him. But I'm just saying from a perspective of seeing it like that.
Yeah.
I find it unbelievable that you can sell. I mean, George Carlin used to sell out.
Yeah,
all
sure.
of these guys, Kevin Hart, I'm sure, Eddie Murphy, they could book any size arena.
Right.
But Eddie Murphy, that's a good example, because he had, well, at least in his day,
Right.
he had that kind of energy. I mean, I guess Sebastian does too. He jumps
he's
around
very
a lot,
physical,
very
but
animated.
at the same, like you said, you can't just stand there and tell jokes like you
Right.
might at a 100-seat small thing. You have
Right.
to be all over the stage. You have to be a little physical. George Carlin was, a
Right.
lot of, physical in his maneuvers, but
Yes.
it's not, it's not a concert. It's not a
Right.
baseball game or a basketball game where you're like charged up and
Right.
you're right. It must be really hard to keep that 20,000 people engaged.
Sure, that would be my guess. Yeah,
Because
but Ed Murphy, Sebastian, those types, I think could do it. I fell asleep at a Cosby show downstairs.
you don't do that.
True.
At least when you have a drink in your hand.
Downstairs from the garden in the 90s. Did they call that the Paramount?
The Paramount, they
Yeah.
call it the Feld Forum.
yeah.
It's been
Right.
going to do a
Yeah.
lot of
It was the
things.
Paramount at the time, and I saw
Right.
Cosby. I fell asleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's everything. The
It's
current
awkward,
stuff
right,
aside,
right.
I mean, there's no denying the guy as a comedian
Right.
was genius. But yeah, he didn't keep an energy like
Right.
that. He was sitting down for 3/4 of the
Yeah.
show, and
Yeah.
I fell asleep.
That's
Wow.
kind of what I'm thinking. That I think some people can do it.
Yeah.
Like you say, because they have to perform. You're performing.
Well, he was hot at one time. Cosby was hot at one time.
Oh,
And
sure.
eventually, I mean, he got old, and he's, he wasn't as good as being cantankerous and grouchy,
Yeah, true.
and judgmental.
Have you ever seen a comic in that kind of arena or in a big 20,000 seat
I
something in that
I don't
setting?
think I don't ever remember seeing a comedian in like a arena.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen him here.
Do you count Weird Al as comedy or?
Well, I think Weird Al would probably do, and he's going to be at the
Garden.
but not at the Garden. He's doing it at the.
Oh, he's
theater.
doing the theater?
Yeah, he's
Okay.
doing the small, which is the little smaller venue at the Garden. Still big spot.
Yeah.
but I think he would definitely be able to, because I think he's not going to just tell. He's going to be
Well,
performing
true,
in
'cause
songs
it's
and parodies,
comedy music, right,
There's a
right.
whole shtick to his thing.
Right.
He's a real performer.
Well,
I
last
wouldn't even
summer,
call him really a stand-up.
he did. I mean, he was doing like Forest Hills. Mm-hmm. So
Yeah.
so that's the kind similar to the same amount of people.
Yeah,
We saw him.
Did you?
We did.
We saw Weird Al.
1987, Jones Beach. Weird Al opened for the Monkees. Come on, I'm almost positive you were there.
Real? You know what? I think you're right.
Yeah, I knew it. Yeah,
I totally forgot about that.
I think I seem to have vague memory of like hanging with you after the show.
Yes. Well, I saw you guys at a lot of monkey shows.
Right, that's why I'm like
I
not
think-
positive, but I'm pretty
I
sure.
think it wouldn't be a monkey show at Jones Beach without you and Frank, or at least with just Frank. You.
One of the best concerts I ever saw. Weird Al
Yes.
and the Monkees. It was great.
Weird Al
Yes.
and the Monkees. I like that.
A friend of mine, listen to this. A friend of mine
of
called
mine.
me the other day in L.A. You know him, and he says, and he's working a lot like he's working with podcasts now. He gets a call from Mickey Dolenz, and Mickey was asking him about podcasts.
Really?
Yes. Wow. So
I know who you're talking about.
I know you. I know.
I know you took-
Yes, Kramer. That was very Kramer.
I know who you're talking about. I think I know who you're talking about. What do you think about? Read this headline for me.
Let's see here. Do we need to put the? Are we getting?
Just read the headline.
Okay, we're getting.
Do me a favor. Read the headline. Don't pontificate.
We're changing the format of the show. We're getting edgy now. L.I. man charged with beating, killing friend. Fatal attack seen in security video. Prosecutor said.
So now I'm going to read that again, and I want Tony to tell me if there's anything interesting about this. Long Island man charged with beating, killing friend.
So all right. So you want to know what I'm?
What do you think about that headline?
It almost sounds like two separate things.
Well, Long Island man charged with beating, killing friend. My problem is he's probably not a friend. If you've just beaten and killed him, what kind of friend is he? So
Well.
the friend thing is what's bothering me.
Oh, I kind of felt threatened by some people who were my friends, and then they.
You've almost been beaten and killed by many friends. Steve's had many a times where he's been almost beaten and killed by, and we love you. but let's be honest. There's been times where we almost where you were put through a door.
I just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time.
That is true. I thought it was just a little. What's the word I'm looking for? A little play on words. A little odd.
Yes, it
A
is
little
odd.
oxymoron.
Well, they probably were
Like
friends.
jumbo shrimp.
They probably were friends.
Not anymore. Not since he killed him.
Well,
They're not friends. He's not talking to him anymore. He's like, you know what? You killed me. I'm done with you.
well, maybe
I've had it.
maybe the dead guy's not talking to him.
He had an affair after spouse's surgery.
Well,
Dear Eric, how do you know when to break up a marriage after a partner has had an affair? I've been married for almost 25 years, Steve. My spouse had a 6-month sexual affair, the only kind to have, by the way, with a neighbor. Keep it convenient. I always say that. Keep it close. You don't want to travel for a huge affair.
Oh, no.
They started out as exercise buddies. Steve, they just went to the gym together. When I was
Uh-oh.
recovering, well, so they were working out together while she was recovering from spinal surgery. And I couldn't recreate with him. I don't know what that means.
recreate.
Yeah, what does that mean?
Re-
Read that. It says I couldn't recreate with him.
I figure, you know,
Is she? What does that mean?
maybe it's
Does she mean procreate?
appropriate.
I don't
Maybe
know.
that's the word.
She said
yeah.
I couldn't recreate with him. I couldn't do strenuous housework either, and he really likes a clean place. How do I know whether to stay or go? Sounds like a Clash song.
Yes, it does. Exactly. You read my mind.
It's not hard. That's a pamphlet right there.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. So I thought this would be a good segue because so he's got the affair with the gym buddy,
Right.
or she, so she's upset.
Yes.
And it's always the gym. Now here's another gym issue. My husband loves going to the gym since he has retired, but he goes at 11 p.m. or midnight. Says it's empty at that time of the night. Comes home around 3 a.m.
Well, it takes a while to work out.
Well,
yeah.
that's what I would say.
You're doing cardio also.
Oh,
so.
definitely.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, so she wants to know, why are you going so late at night to the gym and coming home at 3 o'clock in the morning? Now, this is her problem. When he gets home, he wakes her up. He's noisy when he comes home.
Oh, yeah. He just finished working out.
Well, we don't. I think she's missing the boat here. I think he's got bigger. I don't think he's going to the gym for 4 hours from 11 to 3 a.m.
Now, I know you're not a fan of Dear Eric. I'm sure Eric has some sort of brilliant response for.
He says, I don't know what kind of bodybuilder utopia you live in, but I'd wager that the gym is just as empty at 2 a.m. as it is at 11, if not more. So see if your husband will go later. I don't know how that's helping. So that seems a little weird. Did you ever work out late at night? That sounds like another affair to me. I feel like they use the gym
I actually do work out late at night. It's deader.
at Bally's years ago. I'll tell you this story. Tony will appreciate this. We had this, I won't say who it was. He was this like fireman guy.
Right.
Built, bald,
Right.
like Mr. Clean. We used to call him
Right.
Mr. Clean. And he was, messing around. Mm-hmm. I guess you would call it a sexual affair,
Ooh.
a liaison, if you will. And so he, it became messy, and she chased him into the men's locker room, the woman. So she comes running into the men's locker room. She's screaming at him, I'm going to tell your wife and everything. And he's in the in a towel. Everybody's naked, running around. She's screaming.
Goodness.
It's fantastic. That's where I work.
Oh,
or
my
worked.
God.
So we had to ask her to, we said, then we finally got her out of the locker room, and then he wouldn't come out of the locker room because he was like, can you get her out of here? Then I'll come out. It's very messy. It's a very sordid place, the gym.
Yes, it is.
You have sweat, testosterone, everybody's energized.
I worked at another gym, as you know,
I do know.
that, it was in a richer area, and there'd be a lot of tawdry things going on in the parking lot.
It's always the parking lot.
Every time I go outside, there'd be couples like talking in the car in the dark night. It's the only place they can go.
The car.
I can't get away from her.
I love her. I don't know what it is. It's always that saying, my wife,
She's picking on me all the time.
she doesn't get me. That's why I needed to date my 16-year-old neighbor's daughter. It always ends up with what? The front page of Newsday, getting taken away in cuffs.
There you go.
It'll always end up that way, whether you're a mayor or just some seedy guy that belongs to a gym. You're always going to end up on the front of Newsday.
Did you ever see any like arrests when you were working at the gym?
No, I did pull a man off our aerobic teacher who was attacking her once.
Oh my
A couple
God.
of us did. He had mental health issues,
Right.
which goes without saying. And he thought the aerobic teacher, he was in love with her. He was a little strange, and he attacked her. And in the middle of class, he ran up and he grabbed her hair and he was choking her and and we had to
Wow.
pry him off her and separate. It was a brouhaha.
You call it what you will.
It was. Mm-hmm. Hey, Coca-Cola Spiced is gonna get it canned after 7 months. They're not liking it.
Wow.
They're not go. Did you try the Coca-Cola
I
Spiced?
did not try it. I was curious.
You've heard of this?
Yes.
What's it spiced with?
I don't know.
Did you hear about this?
Was it?
You're not a
did
soda
it,
drinker,
Did
right?
it have like a? I thought it was kind of like similar to like a wine spritz, or maybe some sort of alcohol in it or something.
It says Coke said the beverage will be replaced with a new flavor. Coke spokesman. The Coke spokesman. It said it may have gone to market too quickly. We probably didn't do enough research, says marketing chief Shakir Moin.
Marketing genius. Who are the marketing geniuses that thought of this?
Spiced Coke. This is at the board meeting. What do you think?
What did they say? Is it have alcohol? I assume it's alcohol of some sort. And it's final. 3-0. Atlanta's in.
It says here because it doesn't say if it says Coca-Cola Creations is a subdivision, and it launched a new edition of drinks with coconut, strawberry, watermelon. Last month, it launched a limited edition Oreo flavor Coke.
Well, that's a cross thing because Oreo has a Coca-Cola flavored Oreo too.
Really?
Yes.
Oy,
Yeah.
that doesn't sound good. Oh, you're right, Steve. It says here, Coke is also leaning more heavily into alcoholic drinks.
I heard that they were going to like get together with Jack Daniels and
Well, they're doing a Bacardi thing.
or Bacardi.
It's
Yeah.
a hard seltzer that's coming.
Right.
That's came out. Coke and Bacardi Limited announced an agreement to bring a pre-mixed rum and Coke cocktail to the
Wouldn't that
market.
be nice?
It'll be in Mexico next year. So if you guys want a rum and Coke, you got to go to Mexico.
I'll get you one.
Can you?
I know you'd love
And
that.
you look at this kid.
What's up with this kid?
What does that say?
Sugary drink consumption is up.
That's why I do the two stories together. Coke.
So what's wrong with that? Coca-Cola's delicious.
Look at this kid. He's killing. He doesn't even know. He's in two-handed. He's a two-fisted drinker. He's drinking that. He can't stop. That's why the obesity rate, you see here, 40% is up to. 40% of people are obese in this country. That's that's almost half.
I could tell you exactly what.
40.3. I'm shocked.
I could tell you.
I'm actually not shocked. Did you ever go to the beach?
You're not telling the whole story here.
I don't. I never do.
You're not
I only
telling the
tell
whole
my
story.
side of the story.
You're not telling the whole story in this picture. And you know why this kid's drinking soda?
Why?
Because his mom isn't paying attention. Because this kid turned on the TV and Jack Lane came on and told the kid, "Is mother there?"
Well, that's
Can
going to
you
be hard.
bring mother in?
That's hard
And
since
so-
Jack's been dead for 12 years.
So Jack's been well. This is what happened.
Now, I thought Jack missed the boat. He should have gotten in on the Jack and Coke,
Oh my God!
right?
These are the questions you should have asked.
You
him.
know, there's nothing wrong with a little spiced beverage after a good workout.
No, you would get him angry. Come on, you know that. What are you talking about?
What do you mean? What do you? Oh,
If
this
it-
was the thing I wanted to ask you before
Yes.
I forget. Wait, I have it right here. Here it is. So here we go. 7-Eleven, perfect.
I know. Seriously, you did the Dear Eric things early.
It was just what was in order. So, all right, we got a little music trivia for Steve and for Tony, if Tony wants to play. Mm-hmm. Feel free, Tony, to buzz in. We'll start easy. Who was the first American Idol winner?
That would have been Kelly Clarkson.
You are correct, sir. Did you know that, Tony? You look like you were ready to.
Yeah.
Sorry, I let Tony answer.
Keith Moon.
Yes, I didn't see that. I can't read.
You
it.
can't read my handwriting, believe me. I
Yes.
can't even read it. Keith Moon, and you'll have to help me with this name. You'll know it. John Entwistle?
And whistle.
And Whistle. Of the Who.
Wow.
I knew Steve would go, I'll relax. I don't know John Entwistle. It's not like I don't know Mayor Adams.
You don't know Jack.
I do know Jack. So Keith Moon and the other guy of The Who gave the name of this classic rock band.
No, you don't.
I probably do know it.
You
but
know it.
Go ahead. One of you two, we give it.
Go ahead. It's yours.
The Who?
Oh no.
No, they are The Who.
I know they are the Who.
They
I
named another band, a
Yeah.
classic rock band.
Led Zeppelin.
There you go. Good.
you know what?
So it's 1-1.
I did not know that.
Really?
I don't think I did.
Wow.
This is easy. This is stupid. What rock star doubles as a horror director? And I wouldn't call him a rock star.
Oh, come on. Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
Well, give it to us.
If I could think of his
You can't
name.
think of his name.
I can see.
Steve's,
I see his picture. I
Rob
can't.
Zombie.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank you.
Name the members of the Traveling Wilburys.
Oh, come on now.
Oh, come on.
What?
Really? One.
Go ahead. All right, you go first, and then we'll go back and forth. So,
Okay.
Steve, you do the first one.
George Harrison.
Good. Tony?
Jeff Lynne,
Got it.
Bob Dylan.
Good.
Tom Petty.
Good. One more.
Roy Orbison.
Very good.
Thank you.
You guys are good. Paul McCartney and John Lennon.
True.
Good. Wrote which Rolling Stone song?
Oh shoot.
Well, all right. Yeah, the Stones put it out first, I believe. Yeah, but the Beatles did it too.
Yes.
Oh, are you? Oh,
I did know this and I don't know it now.
I want to be your man.
You got it, Tone. Wow, Tony is
Yeah,
good.
that's right. Thank you.
This is easy. I put this in only for me.
I did know this at one time. Then
Who is the only country artist to have a top 20 hit on the Billboard country charts for 6 straight decades?
country artist, 6 straight decades.
The only one. 6 straight decades.
The only one.
And it's on the country Billboard charts. Not the top Billboard charts, but the country.
Would that be Willie?
No.
No.
Good guess.
Oh, I was gonna go with Willie too. Johnny Cash.
No. No.
Was that Mr. Ed?
Six
6 straight decades.
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 Dolly Parton?
Dolly Parton.
Oh wow.
Art Garfunkel,
Yes.
who is not related to Art Linkletter. I thought he was. I thought they both came out with the children's book. Initially declined to sing which song?
Oh God, I heard this story too, and now I get my
He initially
brain,
declined
My brain is fried.
to sing this hit song,
Bridge over troubled water.
Bridge Over Troubled. Look at Tony's.
I forgot it was like some. This is why they don't.
All right, let me bring it down for Steve. Well, my mom will get this next one. I put it in for my mom. What was Elvis's first #1 hit in the U.S.? His first #1 hit.
That's all right, Mama.
That's not All Right, Mama.
Love
No.
Me Tender.
It's not Love Me Tender, but that was his first song.
Oh, that was his first song.
Yeah.
Hound Dog,
Getting closer.
Jailhouse Rock.
You're getting warmer.
Don't be cruel.
Now you're getting colder. Heartbreak Hotel.
Well,
I got one.
Go.
Name Chuck Berry's only #1 hit.
I know it.
You know it?
Well, it's not Johnny Be Good, is it?
No.
It's the other one. I just read this. I don't know. Tell me.
My
My
Ding-a-ling.
Ding-a-ling.
My Dingaling. That's right. I knew. I just read it.
How horrible is that?
Oh, I got a good
Really,
one for
of
you.
all his
I know.
songs.
How long since the anniversary just passed? Oh, not too long ago.
And I was the kid who like bought that record.
Oh,
because,
so
this
was
is a
I.
great song.
Oh yeah.
And that was also another movie I did.
Yes.
My Dingaling.
yeah.
How long is Don McLean's American Pie? I'm going to give you choices, so you don't have to know it exactly.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to give you 3 choices. You're going to pick: A, 7 minutes and 46 seconds.
No.
B, 8 minutes and 33 seconds. Or C, 9 minutes
B.
and 27
B.
seconds.
I'm with Steve.
B. Final answer.
Yeah.
8 minutes and 33 seconds?
Yes.
Are you sure?
I am.
Are you
Final
sure?
answer.
You're correct. And what year was it released?
1972.
1971. It was a hit in 72,
Okay. Well,
but it was released, which is it's always important to know when you're released.
Ruined by Madonna in what year?
That would be
80,
1990.
90? 90.
She sang American Pie?
Yes,
Yeah,
she
she
did.
put out a
Oh, it's
version of it.
terrible.
Yeah.
Speaking of a version, who sang a version of it, a very good version of it on the David Letterman show?
Oh, John Mayer.
Correct.
Yeah.
I never heard that.
Great. It was really good, right?
John Mayer's great.
Oh, it was so good. And he was wearing the late night jacket. You got to YouTube that, Steve. Very good. And it seemed longer than 8 minutes or whatever. That's all. I mean, he might have did a little longer version, but I guess the standard version is 8 minutes and change. Oh boy. Well, this is easy. What was the first music video on MTV?
Video killed the radio star.
By the?
Buggles.
You got it. I thought it was the Bugles.
Who was in the Buggles?
Who? Oh my God.
That I don't know.
That's insane. You know who was in the Bugles?
Yeah, that was. He's a big producer. Trevor Horn.
Oh, right.
He was a singer, and then Jeff Downs, who's was part of Yes and also a part of Asia. He was the keyboard player.
Speaking of like long songs and versions, on David Letterman, I think it was the anniversary of MacArthur Park, they did a whole version where Jimmy Webb came out and did it, and they got a full orchestra along with the band. It was just like incredible.
Oh,
It was
wow.
very cool.
I have to see
Anyway, okay, I digress.
No, that's good. I like that. What Rolling Stones song, you guys know Rolling Stones, is also a delicious restaurant. Who would like to take that?
Are they still around?
No. I can't. Are they?
Rolling Stone,
No. The delicious restaurant.
delicious restaurant.
I beg to differ too. I didn't find it delicious. I was not
No,
a fan.
I ate it delicious as a joke. I know it's not
but I
delicious.
didn't like it.
I don't even think I ever ate there. Well, say what it is, or somebody
Everyone
said.
knows it's the Ground Round.
Of course, ground round. I can't get no ground round. I thought it was Red Lobster. It was Ruby Tuesday.
That's right.
Ruby Tuesday.
I never liked Ruby Tuesday either.
Nah.
No, you mean the song or the?
Like the restaurant.
Oh, what about the song?
Song's good.
Okay. What does CBGB stand for? Which is I know I'm giving you.
I
easy
used to
ones.
know this.
Country, blues,
Wait, start. Yeah, country.
blues, CBGG, CBGB.
B.
I forgot the other two.
You got country,
Country, not blues,
bluegrass,
bluegrass,
and then back to blues.
blues, CBG, but I don't know what the G is. Oh, BG for bluegrass.
Right, bluegrass.
Okay,
Yeah, they
gotcha.
do it like that. Cher's first single
As a soloist.
as a soloist referred to which rock star? And you both should know this. Her first single referred to which rock star?
Greg Allman.
No.
No,
that's a guess.
this is an old song. This is way before. This is when she was still with Sonny.
Oh.
And I'll give
Because
you. You want a hint?
Solo album then.
I'll give you a hint.
Okay.
He's recently sick. He had to cancel his tour. Or
Ringo Starr.
you got it.
Really?
Yep.
I was totally making that up.
Yep. You got it.
What was the song?
Yeah, what's the song?
I don't know. I don't go that far.
You know,
Gotta look that
I
up.
love all this research you have, and yet you don't have any answers.
I got all the answers. Okay. Who penned my theme song, Crazy?
That would be Willie Nelson.
Crazy.
Crazy for feeling lonely.
Now who?
Now, Steve, you did your best imitation was Willie Nelson. Just the one word he says, "I'm crazy."
Now Steve played that for me on his WHPC Anything and Everything show.
I did.
You did that. Remember a couple of years ago?
I did.
You played Crazy for me, which is Patsy Cline.
Yes.
Now, help me out here. When are these people going to learn to stop going in airplanes? I just watched well, I didn't just watch it, but right, she was one that met her demise in an airplane.
She did.
And John Denver.
Yep.
And
Richie Valens and the Big Bopper.
the Big Bopper and
Buddy Holly.
Buddy Holly.
Steve Ray Vaughan. Well, that was a
A
helicopter.
helicopter.
And I just saw one also, which was a really good documentary on Leonard Skinner
Oh, yeah.
with the crash.
Their Behind the Music was actually better
Yeah.
than that documentary.
You know which documentary I'm talking about?
Yeah, I
called,
just watched it
It's called
myself.
Forget Me, Leonard Skinner, or something like
Something
that.
like that,
Yeah.
yeah.
And they were talking really to a couple of the survivors. People,
Right.
I survived that. And his friend was trying to wake him up because he had taken a couple of sleeping pills because he had been up and he wanted to sleep on the plane ride. And the guy was screaming, "We're gonna crash!" And he's like, "Stop joking, I'm sleeping." He kept telling him, and I guess he couldn't get him up, so he picked him up, tried to buckle him in, but
And at the time, they had just, I think within a week or so of the crash, they released an album called Street Survivors where the whole band is standing in front of fire.
Wow.
Yeah. Is that crazy?
Oh my God. Were you a Leonard Skinner? I didn't know much about them, and then I
just
started getting
the
interesting to
hits.
see what they.
I just knew the hits. I didn't really know too much about them besides that.
Sweet Home Alabama.
Sweet Home Alabama.
And that smell, can't you smell that smell?
Yeah, that smell.
Give me 3 steps.
Give me 3 steps. Yeah, so they
Yeah.
had some songs.
Come on, we're forgetting Freebird.
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 Freebird. So that was really it. That was you did good, you guys. That was the last one. You guys did very good.
Well, the Cher song is called
what is-
Ringo, I Love You.
Oh wow.
And it
Well,
was-
Oh, that was from the 60s.
Yes, and
That
it wasn't
was-
even put down.
And that was even before Sonny and Cher.
right.
I remember.
And
I heard
they didn't even
it.
call her Cher. It was
No.
it was under the name Bonnie Joe Mason.
Okay,
Oh my
so
god.
I never
Wow,
heard
that's
any
a
of this.
real.
No idea.
That's a tough
That's
one.
a stretch.
That's just no,
Bonnie
but that's
Jo
that's
Mason.
that's not a
So it wasn't
stretch.
Cher. It was Bonnie Joe Mason.
Well, it's her and the same. Gypsies, Tramps, and Thieves,
And Ringo.
and Ringo.
Bang bang.
That's how the original song was. Gypsies, Tramps, and Ringo. And then they said that's not going to work. And she said, "All right, so let's play around with the words." That was also a great documentary. I think you guys would enjoy. It starts with a song, and it goes to all the songwriters and the people of like that. You know, you wouldn't know who they are, but wrote all the famous songs for Shakira, for Pink, for. It's
Oh,
a
yeah?
really
Oh,
good
yeah, I like
documentary.
that.
It calls
I
It
like
Starts
that.
with a Song.
Oh, okay,
It's
thanks.
really good. It's on Netflix or Amazon, one of the
Okay.
two. From this, they were interviewing, and I didn't know he wrote this song. You know the song "In the Ghetto"?
Yes.
My mom, the family loves that song from Elvis. My mom and
Right.
dad love that song. Who wrote that? There you go. There's the final one.
Another one I used to know, but I don't know anymore.
He wrote "In the Ghetto."
I know. Well, I used to know who it was. Was it Eddie Rabbit? It wasn't
No,
Eddie Rabbit.
no, it
It
wasn't.
was someone.
Mac Davis.
Mac Davis. That's right.
He wrote it. And you know, it's funny because you hear them, these songwriters, and they're performing the song, like on the documentary, and they're like unbelievable. Like, you're like, why didn't you do it? They sound better than the, like, some of these people are so talented, but I guess they're just that's what they,
Yeah, but like Steve mentioned, Jimmy Webb, like he wasn't really. Well, he's still around, but he's not
Right.
really the best of singers. He's
No.
all right, but
No, he's a great
So you'd rather hear
songwriter.
other people sing.
Right.
yeah, no, but these, I'm
And-
telling you, when you watch this, these
Yeah.
people were really good. Like, there was a lot of country ones. Unbelievable.
Well, look, this is the thing. Publishing.
Right.
You know what? I'm sure Dolly Parton made a lot more money
Yes.
on
The songs that she wrote
on
for other artists.
on what's the song that Whitney,
Whitney
Houston,
Houston
sang?
Love.
And I will always love you. Now she did a version of that, and it was popular in country and whatever. But when Whitney did it, now Whitney got no money. She only sang. If you're just a singer, you don't get anything. And she didn't have a lot of money when she died.
And I'll have.
all that money
She
though,
didn't
Dolly.
no.
Dolly.
If you don't mind me interrupting,
Yes.
I'm going to totally change subject on you here.
Go for it.
Pete Rose has died.
What?
Pete
way.
Rose has died.
Really?
Yeah.
When? This just came in?
Just came in about a half hour ago.
Oh, look
my
at that.
goodness.
It died at age 83. Passed away earlier at his home in Las Vegas.
Wow.
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 So that's breaking news here on the Steve Squared Show.
Yeah.
You get it only on the Steve Squared. I just watched the Charlie Hustle thing.
Yes,
Yes.
I did too.
It was good, right?
I didn't like it.
Oh, you didn't? What?
Well, I liked it, but I didn't like
he
him.
was no, that's what
Yeah,
I'm saying. He
yeah.
still comes across, and you know what? He'll won't realize that Hall of Fame dream that he had,
Right.
which he could have easily, if he showed a little contrition
If
over the
yeah,
years.
all he had to do was
he just was so Pete.
he
was
had-
so Pete Rose
Yep.
that he was like, you know, he gets nasty. He's just a certain way about him, and I guess it really didn't garner favor with any of the commissioners. You know,
Oh, look at that.
Pete Rose. So now with the playoffs coming, I'm sure they'll do something, right, at the stadiums.
Yeah.
They'll definitely do something.
Oh,
for
they
Pete.
they will be. Yeah.
There'll be some kind of big thing. They were probably planning that now.
I'm sure they'll be. Yeah. Wow, look at that.
Well, he was a Philly, so you know the Phillies will. Even though he was probably more synonymous with Cincinnati,
Cincinnati, yeah.
but he
definitely.
won a championship with the Phillies, right?
Yes, he did.
Yes,
So I mean, he kind of split his time. But yeah, Cincinnati is his home, is his everything. So that's unbelievable. Wow, thanks, Tony. Thanks for bringing the show down. And that'll be another episode of the Steve Squared Show. Thanks for joining. Thanks for watching. Tony just depressed me. P. Rose is dead.
Oh my goodness.
Dear Eric. Now, what can I do? How can I segue after that into something comical, Tony? What's the standard amount of respectable time to tell a joke now? Do I have to wait 60 seconds? It's like one of those things. Can I have a moment of silence?
How about a song? Why'd you do a song? You know,
A Pete Rose song?
No, you just be you. You know, Steve has.
I don't know who I am.
You know,
You never know that? I'm many
Steve,
people.
You are the king of showbiz.
I'd like to think
You
so.
do. You know, Steve has tap dance shoes. He has tap. You know, he taps.
Really?
I was forced
Yes.
to tap at one time.
Get those shoes. Get on this table and do a little tap dance next time on this show.
Get your shine box. You sound like Joe Pesci. Go home and get your shine.
If you were to sing a song for Pete Rose, what would it be?
Well, what song? All right, you guys are the music people.
The Rose. The Rose.
The rose. There you go.
Every rose has its thorn.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
That's
Wow.
perfect.
Wow.
That's, you can't, right? Who is that? That's Three Dog Night?
No, that's
One of the
Poison.
hair bands. Is it Poison? Yeah.
Maybe Poison.
It is Poison. Three Dog Night.
Every rose.
Pete Rose was a young man, and was a good friend of mine. Never understood how. God. See, I know a little Three Dog Night.
You do.
Now,
That's-
can you name the three dogs?
There were no three dogs in Three Dog Night.
Did you know the Doobie Brothers weren't really brothers?
I did not know that.
They were in-laws by a second marriage.
And then they adopted Michael McDonald.
Remember? And watch. Oh, I got one for Steve before we leave. 728. You'll get this. Steve will get this. Speaking of Doobie Brothers, what great classic.
What's
one of
happening?
the best TV sitcoms.
What's happening?
Don't say it till I bring it.
What's happening?
What TV sitcom did the Doobie Brothers make their appearance?
What's happening?
You remember
Which
that?
Doobie Ubi?
Which Doobie Ubi? You remember that episode? Yes.
Love that episode.
That is a great episode. And they're dancing and he records them.
You know, Steve and I have a fondness for the theme song of What's Happening.
Bam, 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 bam. Mama, ooh, you in trouble now?
I can't breathe.
Mama, I can't breathe.
Now there was the start of showing real situations.
Yes.
There were 3 fat people that were main characters
Right.
in that show.
Shirley Jones? No, that was.
Shirley
I'm wrong.
Shirley Hempel.
Thank you.
Hempel used to
very
play
good.
governors
Yes.
No.
back in the
She
80s.
did, I remember,
Yeah,
I
in
remember.
fact, I'll show you. There's a picture of her
Yeah.
on the wall.
I
Oh
remember.
my gosh!
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
I remember seeing the ads.
Did you see her?
It was the 80s.
Or
Yeah, it was in the 80s.
Oh, you were so-
it was before
So
my
really, you just
time,
knew
yeah.
the pic. You just saw the picture.
Yeah.
You just knew that she had. Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know she was stand up. Like she.
yes, she was a stand-up.
Wow.
That was her.
She was good in it. She was very funny.
Yep.
Shirley Hempel.
Mabel King.
Mabel King, who was better than Florida Evans. I was more her than Florida Evans.
Well, that's a whole different. Come on,
Or Esther Roll.
Esther Roll. Come on,
James. I do a great Esther
Oh,
Roll. Oh, James.
That's your Keenan Thompson.
Do you remember that one? That was, and then they have who played
Janet Jackson played.
Janet Jackson was in it, but the what's his face was actually really good in it. Dave Chappelle was in that one.
Dave Chappelle.
He played JJ.
Or was that
I think so.
Farrow? Was the
Oh,
regular?
Jay Farrow?
Jay Farrow.
No, I think it was Chappelle. I'm not sure. You might be right.
No, I think it was Jay Farrow.
You might be right. Yeah, he's good. Oh.
No, because Janet Jackson was the guest that.
Yes. I think it was Dave Chappelle. I don't know. But it was one of them. It was really, that was one of the funniest. That was a really funny. But What's Happening was a great show.
Yes.
And if you want to see
Fred Rerun Barry.
Fred Rerun Barry, who also the late Fred Rerun
Yes.
Barry,
The fat people did not.
they didn't
So-
do well after that show.
What would Jack LaLanne say? There you go.
That's your answer.
That's your answer.
Right. They would have been in many sitcoms post after that. But if you look back at who played Dwayne. Well, it doesn't matter, but Dwayne.
Hayward Nelson.
Thank you. Dwayne does a great. It's one of his funniest parts. He sings a song in the class.
I forgot.
You know the song. It's with the. You could take a pencil or rule, and you can. I would fix broken hearts. I really know you can.
Yeah,
I'm your
yeah.
whatever, and he does it. It's hilarious.
I'm your handyman.
I'm your handyman, which also was a movie I did back in the early '80s.
Of course you did.
I'm your handyman.
Of course you did.
My plumbing seems to be stopped up. It's a good thing I brought my wrench.
You need to bring your script with you. Maybe this Halloween, along with the reading of War of the Worlds, we could do the
Night
reading
of the Living Dead. You know we always do that, and you play who?
I don't know.
You remember you made that role come to life when we were in the cemetery? Johnny, stop that, Johnny. You were, I forget what her name was.
I don't know.
We have to go see that at Studio Theater. I told him I'd come see it, but I
You're
won't
going to
be
be
in
very
it.
bitter when you go there. You're not going to be happy.
Listen to what I'm putting down.
So funny.
Hey, baby, I'm your handyman.
But the way he dances is so funny.
I'm not the kind to use a pencil or rule. I'm handy with the slogan, I'm no fool. I fix a broken heart, I know I really can. If your broken heart needs repair, then
But it goes on for like 3 minutes. It's like funny, and the way he's dancing is so stiff. That was one of his funniest parts, and it was just great, that show. Anyway, we're digressing. It's 7:33,
Of course.
7:30. We're closing shop. Great to see the Tonester,
You too, pal.
the Stevester.
Of course.
And thank you both for coming along and having fun with us today on the Steve Squared Show. We'll be around next Monday, 6:30. And Bob Spiata I spoke with, he's going to schedule a date to come in. Do you know this guy?
I've done a little work with Bob.
Yeah.
I don't know him well, but I've done some work with him.
Okay, cool. So we're going to get Bob in here. He's a funny entertainer guy, and I
sure.
spoke with him. And we'll get him on soon.
Excellent.
Anyway, thanks, boys.
Thank you, Steve.
Have a great night. Ow. My ears.